Hey, welcome back, friends. If you want to join the friends, go ahead and hit that subscribe button down below. So today, we are talking about celebration lamps, because they are the best thing in the world. Yeah, just kidding. That's not going to happen. Screw celebration lamps, we don't care. It's treasure hunter bullshit. Anyway, what we're actually getting to is the patch notes. There was quite a bit of patch notes. If you haven't checked them out, I'll put a link in the description down below. You can check out all the patch notes. I did get a couple of the patch notes that I felt were the most important. I'm just using Canva here. That's how I actually make all my YouTube thumbnails, so I figured it was a decent way of just putting these all together for you. So disregard everything around it. All you want is this little letter thing right here. Okay, so first things first, Shifting Tomb now allows Iron Man and Hardcore Iron Man to form groups and play content. They cannot group with non-Iron Man players. So basically the same general idea of Iron Man can group with other Iron Man, but can't group outside of that. This is super useful because Shifting Tombs is not good at all if you don't have a group. So the fact that Iron Man, this basically unlocks Shifting Tombs for Iron Man. They could do it before, but they might as well just be fishing the sharks and getting AFK because it was so slow of reputation gains. So this is very good for Iron Man. If you're not an Iron Man, totally disregard it. Players can now get camouflage fragments from urns, chests, and doors in Pyramid Plunder. So basically, they made it so that you can get the Master Camouflage set. Again, link in the description. From doing Pyramid Plunder as well as from doing Shifting Tomb. So it's a nice little increase to what possible things you can get camouflage fragments from. I fully support everything that is used to train any skill to be able to get fragments. I know that you can't actually get the rune crafting fragments from creating combination runes. So that's a ninja fix I would love to see in the future. Moving on, a cactus patch has been added to the Menaphos, northeast of Grand Pyramid in the Imperial District. Most of you guys won't really care about that. I am planning on doing some farming run guides after I finish up this month of money making, so this is pretty big for me. It means that you can get 2 cactus patches. I believe there's only 2 now. There was 1 before, so it's going to make cactus patches a lot better. This is where a lot of them come from, or a lot of the patch notes. 6 new hit splats have been added for players in EOC. Each choice has been selected via the miscellaneous options window in game settings. So there's a lot of changes to combat. If you understand high level combat, I would strongly suggest checking them out for yourself. Uh, I don't fully understand a lot of them. I'm not a big high-level PVMer. I would like to get into it in the future, but a lot of the changes I don't fully understand exactly what it is. Like there was one ability that I guess has been increased to a 15 tile range, whatever the heck that means. I didn't even know what the ability was. I think its reprisal has been changed to be a 15 or range of 15 tiles, but I don't fully understand all of the high level combat or uh, all of the unlockable abilities. So if you know high level combat and you're really interested in high level combat, go ahead and check the full patch notes. That would probably be your best bet. The ones that I found were kind of important is the 3 right here. Players can now recast affinity spells such as vulnerability when they are already active to restart the timer. Players may now receive a message for successfully adding an affinity spell to an opponent, and players now receive a message for successfully binding an opponent. These messages are really, really nice, just because you would usually have to be like checking to make sure on their buff bar, and hopefully on their buff bar for an enemy, there's like 6 other things already on there because you have bleeds as well as the vulnerability, the affinity. You'd hopefully have a lot of stuff on their buff bar already, and checking to make sure that they had a bind kind of was excessive, so a message is pretty nice. As well as affinity spells, I didn't always know if they actually managed to cast or not, and I didn't know if they did anything at all. So it's nice to get a little message. If you don't already know, affinity spells are not really important for low level combat. For bossing, it's insane. Like I believe you can get up to a plus 10 affinity, which basically means 25% increased damage for everybody. 25% increased damage is absolutely insane. Unfortunately, it is increased damage based on the amount or percentage hit chance. So it doesn't show to be a lot more damage, but you do get a lot more damage in just because you hit them a lot more often than you otherwise would if you weren't using affinity spells. Again, this is a high level combat thing. A lot of the patch notes were high level combat related. So if you don't fully understand it or you don't do high level combat, don't worry about it. Basically, by the time you get ready for high level combat, all this stuff will make sense to you. The left click option on the Max Guild throne in Profundus has been changed from Sit In to Admire. So Admire basically makes it so that you can regain all your summoning and prayer, the prayer points and the summoning points, which is the only thing really people use it for anyhow. So it's basically like a souped up prayer altar, and I would have to be right clicking all the time to, whenever I would do an Araxor run, I would kill one Araxor, teleport back to the Max Guild, go through the Max Guild teleport, and then use another uh, and use this throne in the middle of the process. So the fact that it's a left click instead of a right click now is pretty nice, and I don't constantly be getting the message of, oh, you can't sit in that, you don't have completionist cape. And honestly, nobody's ever sitting in it anyhow. Another little thing, but it makes a big difference to me, is the poorly cooked Karambwan trolls within the troll invasion minigame will no longer wander off too far. They used to go way far into the little cavernish area where all the trolls can constantly hit you, and they get stuck in there because just the way the pathing worked. They would get stuck in there, and you'd have to manually run in there and take tons and tons of damage to try to get one poorly cooked Karambwan troll. Uh, so the fact that they don't do that anymore is pretty nice. It's a little quality of life update, really. They should have done that long, long time ago. I'm guessing it was hard to do, which is why they didn't do it a long time ago, though. Two leprechauns can now store 1,000 super compost, up from 255. Again, little quality of life, not too big. Two leprechauns can now store 255 planks. So, reason why I think that that's worth putting on is because that now makes it so that God grapes, getting the grapevine seeds and planting them is now actually probably worth doing, just because you can actually store planks in there. It used to be really clunky because you have to have 5 planks every single time that you go to a patch, and there's 4 patches. You'd have to have 20 planks in it per go around. Every single time you did a run, you'd have to have 20 planks, and that seems a bit excessive. So the fact that you can now store some planks in there is pretty nice. Um, I understand why they had to limit it to 255 because it's basically binary. They only have a certain number of binary ones and zeros to figure out exactly how many you have in there, reducing the amount of data that they have to store. I wish it was more, but I'm not going to complain about being able to store planks. Another little quality of life update, the clickable area on corrupted scarabs in Menaphos has been increased. I actually did corrupted scarabs yesterday, and it's like night and day. It used to be that you'd be clicking all around trying to click on these stupid scarabs, and they're constantly moving, so you'd never actually be able to click on them. This is a nice little quality of life update. There's actually a little glitch that's a lot easier to do now because they don't burst as soon as you click left click. You can actually double click on the corrupted scarabs and get 2 stomps out of every single scarab. It's a lot easier to execute now that you have a lot larger clickable area. Unfortunately, because I'm mentioning this, odds are they're going to amend it at some point. So hopefully they don't do that, but you never know. They could always pull a water altar. So the water altar has been moved to declutter the Shattered Worlds area. Yep. I made a video on this already, but yeah, this is so stupid. It used to be good money to make mud runes and steam runes and all the other water-based runes because it was about 30 seconds per trip to the water altar. They've made it so it's about a minute now. So, GG. That's a nerf hammer. As well, They didn't actually have this in the patch notes, but the stackable urns is another little quality of life updates. That seems like it's all the updates this week. It's just little quality of life updates, but stackable urns make it so that it's a lot easier to use urns, and you should have been using urns anyway to start out with, but it was just so inconvenient that most people weren't doing it, and now they've made it quite a bit more convenient, so everybody can get an extra 20 to 25% bonus experience, according to, I don't know, some YouTuber. I saw that, and it's only 20% increase. I'm not sure why they said 25% increase. I'm sure there's some fringe case or something. I don't know. Hopefully you guys all enjoy me just talking about the patch notes. If you do, go ahead and hit that subscribe button down below. I'll make these whenever I see a good patch notes. That way I can only kind of put this out whenever there's actually a good number of patch notes. I don't want to put this out every single week. If you do like my videos, I would love it if you leave a like and a comment as well. As always, have a good one.